All right, next up, The Incredible Hulk, the second film in the MCU. So we got a montage of here in the opening for the origin story, instead of just a rehash of the 2003 Ang Lee film, right? 2003, if I remember correctly, which is good. It's just, we know the story. Let's get on. Gamma radiation. He's the Hulk. Got it. Let's do this. Edward Norton. Weird seeing him here now that Mark Ruffalo has been the Hulk for a while. It would be so much better for me if this was Mark Ruffalo, just because I love continuity. So seeing him here, it feels very disconnected from the MCU. It feels like a distant cousin or something. It's very weird. It just, I don't know, it doesn't really fit. The only thing that really connects the two is the cameo by Tony Stark at the end, which is in the trailer of the movie. I remember it. And yes, Iron Man was a huge hit, and they wanted to get people to this, and they wanted to remind them that this was connected, but it was a fucking farce, because people went to this, I'm sure, hoping to see Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark in this for a while, and it just didn't happen, and that's a shitty thing to do. Don't put your ending reveal end credit sequence, which isn't actually a post-credit sequence at all. It happens before the credits. It's just the tack on at the very end of the movie, and then there is no after credit sequence, which makes it even more of a, bastard child of the MCU. It does not feel like that. That all being said, I was not a big fan of this movie when I first saw it. The more I've watched it, the more I liked it, and this time I actually really enjoyed it. This is the most I've liked the movie ever, and I've probably seen it, I don't know, this is probably the fourth time I've seen it. I really enjoyed it. I have a few friends who think this one's super underrated. I hate that fucking term, but I kind of agree in a way. I think it's underappreciated. I like it. I don't love it. It's, this was when Marvel MCU was finding its footing. And they're in a groove now. They're in such a fucking groove, they seem to not be able to fail. They haven't failed for me. They don't ever fail. I like every film in the MCU. There hasn't been a film that I hated or disliked. There's just been films that I've liked or loved to varying degrees. This is on a lower end of that spectrum. This would be towards the bottom of the MCU for me, but that's not a bad thing because I like them all. But yeah, anyway, all right, let's talk here. So the director of this is the director who's doing the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance or whatever on Netflix here this year. How cool is that? Have you seen the still imageries and some of the behind the scenes featurettes and whatnot of the puppetry and all that? It is stunning. They're gonna mix CGI with it, and it looks incredible, guys. Holy shit. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be something special. To see that this guy's working on that, I thought that was pretty cool, because this is a well-directed film. I dig this. Whoa! My fucking camera. God dang it. I've got to get a new system here. Hopefully no one's watching this on their TV or something. They're going to fucking think they just had a heart attack. Edited it out. No, I won't. All right, so he is living abroad, and he's trying to stay hidden, obviously, and he's practicing martial arts. He's had a half a year without an incident, and he is, I like that he's practicing martial arts to control his anger. I'm trying to control my anger right now with my fucking tripod for falling like it does. Oh, that annoys me, because I don't want to start this shit over. Ugh, how annoying. I'm a one-take fucker. And the fact that he doesn't do a more thorough investigation when he cuts himself and it drops down. This is a fucking company that makes liquid for people to consume and drink. You would think a blood spill. And I get it, like, this is a foreign country and maybe their standards are low. The factory, the guy says, I need a new factory. The factory looks like a piece of shit, so I guess they don't really care about the quality. But blood in a drink, I would think that would probably fall under, something along the lines of like, okay, we need to shut this down, make sure no bottles are contaminated with blood. That's a serious problem if you got blood in your drinks. The fact that he misses it, it's right there. It's a clear bottle and it's fucking bright red blood on it, and we can see it so clearly. Like, I just don't feel like he does a thorough investigation for someone who's, you know, so worried about it. What happened to Stan Lee's character here that drinks the fucking thing and falls over? Does he become hulky for a minute? Does he die? Does he what? I don't know. They say it packed a little more punch than he expected, like a punch into the heart, and he's dead? Or I don't know. And even the boss, as I said, the boss looks at him like he's crazy for running down there and getting so worried about a drop of blood falling on unopened containers that are going to contain liquid for people to fucking put into their bodies. He's like, oh, what a crazy person who runs down to clean blood out of bottles people will be drinking from. What kind of factory is this guy working in? And what kind of a factory has a girl this hot in it? Oh my God, is that girl fucking smoking? No wonder everyone in the factory is sweating. It's not because it's hot outside. It's because they're working next to Martina. Oh, what a beautiful woman. It's kind of funny that it's Mr. Blue talking to Mr. Green, and then it cuts to Mr. Orange. Yes, Tim Roth, Reservoir Dogs. I thought that was pretty funny. He's having a conversation. It's Mr. Blue and Mr. Green, back and forth, and then it literally cuts to Tim Roth, and I'm like, it just cut from Mr. Blue and Mr. Green to Mr. Orange. How fun. And the foot chase. Now, foot chases, when done right, I guess, foot chases for the most part are almost a sure thing. Foot chases for me are always intense and fucking, I don't know, I like them. Anytime I see them, even in movies that I'm not that big on, action movies with long foot chases, there's something really cool about them. There's a really cool one in the recent Aquaman movie. Probably my favorite one I ever saw was the one, I don't know if it's the favorite one I've ever seen, because then you'd have to break it down. Is it a fight sequence like the one in Ong Bak when he's going up that long hall or whatever? Oh my God, that thing's incredible. But no, just kind of like a guy getting ran after, you know, chased after. The one in Casino Royale with Daniel Craig, that guy who's like a freaking parkour dude, and he's hopping across and he's jumping this way and that way off like elevators. That foot chase is awesome. But this foot chase is good, really good. Every time the Hulk hulks out, before we really get to see him, it plays out like a full-blown horror movie. He's like in the shadows, he's pulling people into him, they're getting thrown out, people are screaming, they're running, getting grabbed into the darkness, guns fire, more screaming. It's great stuff. That's all really cool stuff. I like the way that it plays kind of like a horror movie. He definitely killed those people. Another thing in a row, I was saying that Iron Man kills people. Hulk definitely kills some people. He kills those goons, and he kills those bullies that were screwing with Martina. Good, they deserved it. You don't fuck with that girl. But yeah, no, he totally kills those guys. The way he throws their bodies and the way, no, they're dead, 100%. I'm sorry, your body could not survive that. And then he just jumps out of the fucking place and runs away. And they're like, oh, I guess he got away. They couldn't track the 10-foot tall monster as he rampaged through this city. Really? They didn't have a helicopter overhead when they were doing this operation. They didn't have anything out there to track the monster, literal monster that was running through this town. Bullshit. The fact that he just runs out and like, oh, what, he becomes Ninja Hulk all of a sudden and just disappears into the shadow in the broad daylight. It's ridiculous that he just disappears. You could hear him stomping for probably a mile. You could just hear him. You don't even need anything. You don't need bloodhounds. You don't need fucking satellite. You would just listen. Just fucking listen and you'd hear this. Be like the T-Rex. Just get a glass of water and listen to the fucking vibration. All right, I'm done. The romance between him and Liv is kind of pointless now, but it's good. I like it. But yeah, now that he's kind of got his thing going on with Black Widow and whatnot, yeah, it's kind of pointless, but whatever. The soldier fight that he has when he's in the glass encasing thing here, and they send in the smoke, and he breaks out and he fights and he breaks apart the tanks, and he's oh, that whole sequence is badass. That's a great sequence. And then he grabs Betty and he holds her close, and the fire just kind of burns through her, and he pulls her out, and she's got her knocked out, kind of King Kong like or something, and he runs off with her, and she wakes up very King Kong like, and she's trying to talk to him, and she's trying to rationalize with him and see how much of him is in there. Betty kind of sucks because her boyfriend in this movie is awesome. He like totally sticks up for her. He's like, you screwed up. I ain't giving you shit. Tells him to go off. Risks his career, risks everything to save this girl. And what is she doing? She's making out with and trying to fuck her ex-boyfriend behind his back without even calling him or letting him know that she's okay. Dick move, Betty. Dick move. This guy stuck up for you. So I'm not really fond of Betty, and we don't really know what happened to her boyfriend. Hopefully he left her. And he went and found Martina, and he fucking laid into her. CGI in this it's dated for sure. It does not look as good as Hulk or anything now, for sure. But for the time, it's good. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Tim Roth, Bronski. Bronski definitely baits the Hulk to injure him to the point where he's going to need more, serum to become the Abomination later in the movie. So I like that he kind of taunts him there. We find out that he can't have sex. He can't get too excited. She's like, oh, can't you get a little excited? And it's like, no, Betty, he can't. You have a fucking boyfriend at home. He can't get a little excited, not even a teeny little bit. But I get it. They're true love, and they got separated by horrible circumstances, impossible circumstances. I get it, trust me, but I don't know. The way her boyfriend was, you see, normally what they would do is they would make him an asshole, and it would be an easy brush apart. Like, oh, like, whatever. He's an asshole anyways. He sold her out, this and that. But no, they make him a great guy. So I did like that they went that way. She grabs the purple pants, the stretchy pants. I don't like that scene. I don't like that, because what I love about comic book movies, especially the later MCU stuff, is they really embrace the silliness of comic books while also kind of blending them together with the seriousness. That's what's something that the MCU does so well. It's very self-aware of its silliness and really understands that it's just a comic book movie, but it also doesn't just see itself as a comic book movie and does play to the strengths of a drama and an action movie and whatever. So it really blends a lot of elements, and they don't shy away from the silliness. Like if and when is more than likely, no, 100%. When Disney does do a reboot of the X-Men franchise, which they will, I guarantee you we will see Wolvie in yellow and black. We will see that finally. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I love fucking, him, his portrayal and everything, and we did get a glimpse of that suit. He should have worn it at some point. So watch. When it comes out, we will see Wolvie in his real gear. That's how they're going to sell people on this new Wolverine, is we're going to see him in the legit Wolverine costume. I wanted to see the Hulk in his purple pants because that's his fucking trademark. Give it to us. Don't have him look at it and be like, oh, a little, cute reference to something that would be lame. No way. Let's see the purple pants. It's awesome. So yeah, just them not using it's annoying. And I love that freaking Abomination catches a rocket and just bites it. I wish it would have been done in slow-mo though, because you could barely even tell what happens. It happens so quick. He just grabs it and bites it, and it's just super quick. It would have been funnier in slow-mo so you could actually seen him catch it, grab it, and just bite the thing off and rip it apart, and then he just catches in fire, and he's just sitting there laughing like this is no big deal. The Abomination is kind of a little better than the Hulk in the sense that he has all of his wits about him. He seems to be completely aware as to where, Bruce Banner's Hulk does not seem to have control over his actions all that much. He hones in on them and ultimately does kind of control them to an extent, and can control them around Betty, obviously. But the Abomination, Bronski's character, he is fully aware of who he is and what he's doing there. Maybe if you're a bad guy, you are more in control. I don't know. He jumps out of the helicopter without knowing if he's going to change. And when he's like halfway down, he thinks he's going to change. And then he's like, oh shit, I fucked up. I like that look on his face of like, uh-oh, I made a big mistake. Oops. And when he grabs the cop car and he rips it apart and he uses it as brass knuckles, that is Hulk gold. Okay, that is badass. That is Hulk shit right there, and I love it. And yeah, he goes fucking Betty, oh god. But I do like when Abomination's going, he's gonna light the thing on fire and Hulk uses the fucking power clap and it just blows the wind. Awesome shit. And you have any last words? Hulk smash! That's a great collection of lines right there. Do you have any last, final words or whatever? And yeah, do you have any last words? Yeah, Hulk smash. It's the only thing he says in the movie, really. It's, it's his iconic line. Do you have any last words? It's a perfect blend. I like that a lot. Blows out the thing. And then Betty stops him from killing him. Betty, shut up. Okay, shut up. You didn't fucking try to stop him earlier when he was killing goons right and left. But this guy who's an abomination and has this shit inside of him and is going to pose a huge threat that anyone but the Hulk, is not going to be able to stop. Kill him now. Kill him right now. This guy clearly is not going to stop, and holding him is not going to be easy. No, he needs to die. And we already talked about the Tony Stark scene. It's 2 seconds. It was in the trailer. That was a stupid decision. Yeah. Anyway, I started watching Iron Man 2 earlier, but I have not finished it yet, so I will review that tomorrow. It was fun talking about these. It's getting late. I gotta go to bed. Adios, guys.